Hey guys, I wanted to talk about two audio products that recently came out. I was made aware of one of them through ads. Basically, I was advertised the Beyerdynamic DT1770 Pro MK2. Then I realized they came out with the 1990 Pro Mark II. And me and Shore were talking about how a lot of these companies they still don't value smooth treble. So me and the Shore guy sitting here talking about how there's idiots out there who don't appreciate smooth treble. So I wanted to first talk about the DT 1990 Pro Mark II. This is supposed to be a new version of their DT 1990 Pros. This is Mark II, basically version 2. And we can see something really interesting here. Right here, this acoustic engineer, Ante, he says, with the DT 1990 Pro MK2, we had a very balanced sound in mind, explains Ante, the acoustic engineer in charge. Modern productions often have very complex treble frequencies. That's why the DT 1990 Pro Mark II now reproduce highs a little more smoothly than its somewhat brasher predecessor. So what he means is, again, smooth treble is very important. It's the reason why I use Beyerdynamic DT 990s with worn ear pads, the cheaper version of the 1990s with balanced ear pads here. And it's because there's always this 8 kilohertz peak on the 1990s, and apparently the acoustics engineer is going to smooth out this treble. Hopefully he got rid of the 8K peak, the 9K cut, the 4K cut. These three spots are really bad on the Beyerdynamic DT 1990. It's also a little bit warm and bloated in the mid bass. Basically the bass bleeds into the mids and it's kind of bloated. So you get a punchier, leaner sound in the bass with the Beyerdynamic DT 990 Pro 250 ohm with worn ear pads. So if he got rid of he didn't even mention this bass mud bloat that goes above the target, which is bad. This peak and cut right here, which is bad. This huge 8K peak, very bad. That's what it's well known for. And then this 9K cut, also bad. So if you want a smoother treble, you just get worn pad, Beyerdynamic DT 990s, not the overpriced 1990s. But this guy is making the claim that they hopefully fixed that. Again, the DT 990s out of the box with fresh ear pads have very spiky, harsh treble. So it makes it more comparable about which one you would want to get. Again, this huge 8K peak is a no-go for me. But you could look at the fresh pad DT 990s and be like, wow, isn't this so much worse? And in some ways, yes. Some ways, this 6K peak is very fatiguing. But, once the pads wear in, those peaks dampen and smooth out, and it's a whole lot better. So that's the news for the DT 1990 Pro Mark II that I'm looking forward to. And I kind of talked about it in this thread, the problems with the DT 1990 original. So again, he's claiming that they smoothed it out. The next thing on the thing is this Kiwi Ears HBB punch and the Zgat X HBB Arcadia. These seem to be the same thing. And I was analyzing it, comparing the treble smoothness. It looks like the HBB punch by Kiwi Ears has a little bit too much bass boosting. Maybe slightly smoother treble in some regards, but they're about the same. Honestly, the Zgat HBB Arcadia, it has a leaner bass, which is more what it should be. So And then I compared it to like the SimGot EM6L that I normally use, and the Audio Hype 2 that I typically use. It kind of reminds me, let's bring these two earbuds in, the HBB Punch and the Arcadia. So we can see the Punch has a little bit too much bass boosting. It definitely has punch. Maybe slightly smoother treble, which is better. But we can see it goes below my target right here in this region, the presence region. The presence region, the shout region is kind of scooped out more than my target. Even the Harman Mark II target, you know, from 4 to 5K, it's kind of recessed on these two targets. Looks like it's, you know, so it kind of reminds me of the Cranicle, May the Moondrop Cranicle Dusk. I was kind of getting Moondrop Cranicle Dusk vibes. And we changed the Moondrop Cranicle Dusk to like V-shaped, maybe. Yeah. So if we look at the it looks like they're copying the Cranicle. It looks like they're copying the Cranicle Dusk V-shaped DSP. Again, this huge peak was actually considered really bad when the Cranicle Dusk came out. This huge peak right there in orange, very bad. And we can see both of these other ones have it, especially the Arcadia. They have a peak out right there. It looks like the HBB Punch, they smoothed out that peak a bit, the best. So in that regard, the Kiwi ears has the smoothest highs up here, the less piercing peak right up there. But it seems like it's kind of inconsequential. I mean, if you want to get more bass. So out of these, again, they basically have the same tuning. Some dips in this region. Again, it's 2 V-shaped right here on the Dusk Cranicle. So these could be slightly better in some ways. You know, they don't need DSP. They don't have that huge 2.5K dip like the Dusk. They got the Harman DSP. Yeah, it has a lot weaker bass. Dusk DSP. That's very recessed but smoother. So you gotta admit that Cranicle Dusk DSP was really smooth in this region. Really recessed, but really smooth. I mean, it doesn't have these peaks. But then it jolts out here, which was really bad about the Dusk. And again, it's really recessed in this region. So it's too recessed. That's the reason why you would want to use the V-shaped tuning DSP, or even the V-shaped tuning DSP is what I really thought was best. But I think we can just get rid of the Cranicle Dusk and just look at these two. And looking at them at face value, you know, which one's better? In some ways, you know, it's either or. You know, which one's better? Basically, I think these are going to actually sound fairly good. So he also says they extend to 20 kilohertz because we can see these actually drop off. And we could just bring in the EM6L. What he's talking about, how it extends, he's making a big deal about it, but it does. I don't think it matters. I think other things matter more. But what he's trying to say, if you probably already know what he's trying to say, but he's basically saying that this new Kiwi ears HBB Punch and HBB Zygot Arcadia, they extend to 20 kilohertz right here. Okay, we can see the Hype 2 And the EM6L, they just cut off above, like, I don't know, 17 kilohertz. So they don't really extend into those highest of air frequencies all the way to 20K. We can see both the orange and the pink line cut down right here. So they don't have this little region. It cuts down, it's veiled with the last couple of kilohertz. While these two up here extend all the way. Again, this peak out right here in green is pretty bad. Honestly, I don't think I would get the Arcadia just because I don't, again, I'm looking at this stuff. I've got, if I was looking at this like face value, which is what I was doing earlier, this looked really bad. This looked really bad. This recession here, probably bad. Probably. I wouldn't get this. I don't think the highs are smooth enough. So this one's smoother. So the Kiwi ears, definitely looks better here. Looks better. But the bass boost is just obscenely excessive, which is the reason why they call it punch. So I would say maybe the Kiwi ears is better. And I think that's it for this video, really. So the Kiwi ears, I think, would be the better choice. What the hell? Yeah, the Arcadia. Yeah, it extends into the highs, both of them. But I think the punch is better in the highs. It's just got a lot of bass, but maybe it's okay. Anyway, I still think the Audio Hype 2 and SimGuide EM6L are really, really good. These two up against the punch. So I was inherently looking at the punch. We can see how that's why I was doing a lot of my comparisons with the punch. So I would say to get the punch. The punch, if you wanted to get either or, it's just a lot cleaner treble, and it probably it looks like the HBB Kiwi ears punch compares favorably to like the Hype 2 and the SimGuide EM6L. Anyway, I'll see you guys later, alligators. I hope you enjoyed this video. So I'm looking forward to the Kiwi ears HBB punch. It's got smoother highs.